Hey,
Hello.
we are doing a thing.
We are doing a thing indeed. How goes it, buddy?
It goes. I've had several bouts of illnesses recently. Just don't
You
feel like
do hate to see it.
you know. Um, they're
You know.
short-lived, but
I
uh,
mean, that's something.
I didn't want to expose anybody and then put more things at risk, and I didn't want to
That is
postpone.
very responsible of you.
But
So,
anyway, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Regrettable Reviews.
welcome to one of my picks
Yes,
that I'm so excited
I
for.
know.
I
Why don't
love
we
this
start
movie
it?
so much. I'm starting it as well. Got it playing on mute on my other monitor. I love this movie so much. Stuart Gordon, Jeffrey Combs, Barbara Crampton, the fucking dream team from Reanimator, and several other Stuart Gordon movies, including Castle Freak. But God, I love this movie so much. And also, his sweater looks so cozy.
Oh my gosh, yes. So when this started, because this is my first time seeing it, and it starts with him already like typing away at the computer and everything,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of thought that maybe because I was watching it on Pluto or something, it was
Mm-hmm.
in the middle or something. It's a very cold open.
It's a very cool open. I will say I did recently I have this I have a fun special edition Blu-ray of this movie that I watched recently that has the director's cut, which is essentially just there's some extra gore, some extra slime, and some extra spoiler alert, brain eating.
We're all shocked by this.
Incredibly very shocking for a show for a sci-fi show. But yeah, uh I love the way that the design of this like giant computer that takes up an entire room. I love the design of the fucking resonator. The interdimensional special effects, they're kind of dated, but God, they were trying.
I want to point out you think that this whole computer that takes up a room is very cool and everything, but I want to say the most science fiction thing about this movie is that in 1986 they thought they could power this resonator with a computer that's small.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you know how big computers were?
Oh God, no,
The
I've
computing
heard
power for
tell.
this thing, you know?
I've heard tell.
Yeah, this is impressive to say the least.
I gotta say that like computers work so well with Lovecraftian horror, even though Lovecraft was so far removed from the computer.
Yeah, yeah. But like
I don't know what it
conceptually,
is. Yeah, it works fantastically.
I think there's something inherent about technology that blends well into that abyss in
Mm-hmm.
Lovecraft. I don't know. I
Because it can be made so unknowable to the audience while still having like something for them to grab onto. Because like, oh, it's a computer, but then
right, right. Yeah, there's this tangible thing to it.
God, I love this movie so much.
So I have gripes, but overall, I
I
very
mean,
much
I'm certainly not saying it's above criticism. I just
right.
like as a person, like Reanimator is a 5-star movie for me. So like this being what it is, being so many of the same people from Reanimator, having such a similar energy, being of the same era, like so many of my boxes are already checked when I sit down to watch this.
I don't need to hear about how you check your boxes. No. So for me, my biggest problem with Reanimator, all of these films that use this is Jeffrey Combs,
Mhm.
and it's not him. It's not his fault. He
I
does
love
great.
Jeffrey Combs so much.
It's that I didn't watch these. I watched a lot of very wrong movies at a young age. These weren't them. And
Mhm.
so the first thing that I distinctly remember him in is The Frighteners. And everything I see him in, I still see that over the top performance. Again, he does his job well, but it's such a gross character and so uh, that like that's all I
So,
see is him trying to
okay, so my mom feels the exact same way about Alan Cumming.
Alan Cumming. I feel like I know that name.
He was fucking Nightcrawler in X-Men, but he had a shit ton of makeup on, so that's really not a good thing for me to give you as you'll recognize him from this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Alan Cumming. I know him.
My mom hates him because she saw him play an absolute slime bag in a movie in 1995, and he did such a good job of it that
Right,
there is no separation.
right. And it's a testament to his ability, Jeffrey Combs' ability to get into a character and really
I
sell it.
to talk about this recent. You can see that I have the movie playing in my second monitor in the reflection from on my glasses. Anyway, I have not had much of a reason to talk about the affection I have for Jeffrey Combs, particularly the character of Herbert West, but just for a quick demonstration of how bad it is. And also, I don't know why, by the way. I made this today. It's a K-pop style photo card keychain of Herbert West.
You have a problem.
Yeah,
But
I
also,
have so many
you
problems.
need to sell those at con.
I can do that. I
And
can definitely make that happen.
People will
Oh yeah.
There's a market for this, is all I'm saying.
Oh, there's a market for a lot of things in this world.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's so much going on that I like before I've even hit play.
In this movie? Well, yeah, because you just have so much nostalgia for loving it.
I only saw this year.
Really?
Yeah, I only saw Reanimator, and I only watched Reanimator for the first time when Brooks and I did it for the stream like a year or two ago.
Oh, for some reason,
just
because
fucking
of how much you
fell in love with this shit.
Yeah, I just assumed these were like lifelong loves of yours, but then again, that can't be possible with your upbringing.
Yeah,
it's just that should have come to my mind. Is like it can't possibly be more than 3 or 4 years old, huh?
Anyway,
so this movie starts hard.
Starts really hard. Like it's running itself. I absolutely love that. Again, Lovecraftian horror works so well with computers.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, and it's that unknowable, intangible, but also tangible thing.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to the ancient evil, it's the new evil.
Exactly.
Duality of it. The whole thing with the neighbor and the dog and the axe to the door. I mean, it's all so good.
It is. I miss B movies that had this much fucking heart.
They knew they weren't making, award-winning movies, but
they still threw themselves into it.
Yeah, the actors, the effects, the directors.
Like you can tell everyone just wanted to be there so much.
And
in this genre of like 80s camp schlock horror.
Yeah, and they clearly love the source material. Now, I don't know. Mm-hmm. I know From Beyond is inspired by a Lovecraft story, but I don't know how closely it ties into it.
Yeah, I'm not crazy familiar with Lovecraft.
I'm tangentially familiar with Lovecraft in the sense that I know all the hard points, and I've played tons of games of a variety of types: tabletop, card, video games. And I've seen movies, but I've never really read anything. I own collections, the best of H.P. Lovecraft, but I've never.
I've read like 1 or 2 short stories.
Right, but I haven't. So I don't know.
But I really haven't done a deep dive, shall we say.
So to the point I was making though is like I don't know how close this ties into the specific source material, but it definitely bleeds Lovecraft.
Mm-hmm.
They love the source. Overall, I don't know if the specific story, but that's okay, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Also, I love the color scheme and the lighting design for this movie. It just looks fantastic. Like the way it shows up on on film specifically, not digital, is fantastic.
Yeah. No, there's not a lot I can knock on this movie for. Visually what happens. Everything is good. Mm-hmm. The practical effects, yes, they're a little cheesy and
a little dated.
But even for now, the practical effects are pretty decent.
I recommend doing this just to anyone who's listening. If you've never done this, try it. Get stoned out of your fucking mind and watch a Stuart Gordon movie. That is how I watched this the first time. and I was just in a sensory fucking wonderland.
If I may recommend, the Stuart Gordon movie you should get stoned out of your mind and watch is Space Truckers.
I would do that.
Or Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Yes, that's right. Same man.
Yep. But aside from that recommendation to y'all, I guess I am gonna have to get. Oh, here's the thing I kind of missed, like the fact that the sort of axe chasing down the stairs scene takes up as much time as it does.
Mm-hmm.
I miss when movies took their time.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't just boom, boom, boom,
out.
boom.
It feels.
Yeah, it wasn't. And that's the thing. It wasn't dragged out. It fits. She's so fine.
I know we're at the same timestamp. It's so funny. I could tell we started playing at the exact same time because she just showed up on screen.
She's
fine. Weakest character
so
in the
fine.
movie, definitely fine.
And for what? Anyway.
Yeah, I would say that's my biggest dig on the movie would be the premise past the opening. It doesn't make sense. But that's okay.
It doesn't make a ton of sense.
I suspended my disbelief because it's a Lovecraftian Stuart Gordon film, and so I'll take it. You know,
I'm gonna take 5 seconds and go back to one of my previous points. When I was doing my crafting today, I made something for Kyle, and it was this.
Noise.
It is Barbara Crampton in From Beyond.
That's not the picture of Barbara Crampton I would have gone with from this movie, but I understand.
Well, I told him to pick, and he went respectful. So,
as he should. I don't have to be respectful about that.
I mean, I also have, like, again, I have just as bad of a crush on her as he does, so it's not like it matters.
Yeah. You guys just have to share it at that point.
Essentially.
It's my turn to
I remember I asked at one point, isn't it fun having a girlfriend who also likes boobies?
They're boobies. Who doesn't like boobies?
Anyway.
I'm sorry, I just got the guy jerking off in the cell.
Yeah, the guy fucking cranking his chain, Silence of the Lambs much?
Oh, God.
Jeffrey Combs is so good at playing these, like, hyper-fixated little weirdos.
Yeah.
He slays.
But, like, so in this and in Reanimator, it's a little bit more controlled. Like, he still seems to have some sense of sanity, except when he's controlled. In this one, like, when he's controlled by the otherworldly thing. Mm-hmm. What hurts is, like I said, the one movie I've seen him in where he's just a human in a human realm who's as whacked out as he is in this movie at his most whacked out. Makes it so hard to look at him seriously. Have you seen The Frighteners?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Michael J. Fox. I guess I can't remember if he like almost dies or dies and is resuscitated, but from that point forward he can see ghosts, and so he runs a hustle business. He's basically Ghostbusters, but he brings the ghosts and then hustles people.
Fascinating.
And then a serial killer dies, and his ghost starts continuing the trend, and it all kind of starts tying in together. And the special FBI investigator that comes to check everything out is Jeffrey Combs. But he's
I'm not interested.
Lunatic. It's a good movie, and he plays the character well. It's just a weird character, you know?
That's it. His face is all eyes.
And mouth. He's got this weird little tardigrade mouth. Very slug-like, because I don't know, or anus. He has an anus mouth. It's just very circular, and the way he talks and everything. Watch his lips.
I don't think I'm going to do that because I think he's really cute, and I don't want that to be ruined for myself.
Yeah, just look at his eyes then. Don't look below the nose.
Noted. Anyway.
A lot too.
I feel like it's just because he has like really like high but still shallow cheekbones.
Yes. Yeah.
Anyway, this is like, it's really ambiguous how Catherine sees Crawford at first as an opportunity, an interesting case. Does she believe him? Much to like, you can interpret it several ways, I think.
So, does she believe him? No. And here's why. Hands down, the answer is no. She thinks he's a schizophrenic. And the reason is later on, she's talking about the whole reason she does what she does is because her mom is a schizophrenic and whatever. And she just wants to prove that schizophrenics can see something. Doesn't mean she believes he didn't kill the guy.
That's what I was thinking, more along the lines of, does she believe that he's seeing something? Like that something is actually there.
Right, but just because something is seen and or may be real doesn't mean they're not doing bad things. So she still thinks he's a murderer, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know what? It'll help me clear my conscience about my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it's the woman who is most sexually affected by it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she turns it on the once, immediately is hot, and then it makes her so horny she goes and turns it on again when everybody else is sleeping.
Yeah. When I was taking notes on this, I was watching it for the second time, and I gotta say, watching it again, I understand why he freaks out at the notion of like anything to do with machines scanning his brain.
Right. I mean, vibrating the pineal gland is what started all this. For all he knows, an MRI is going to trigger that again.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting that they find that the pineal gland has grown and is now taking over more of the brain. That's where it starts to become more fantasy than it. I feel like that was a stretch that I didn't need.
Yeah, I don't know.
If that was later, after he was also sort of infected, and they did another MRI, and they're like, "Oh, this pineal gland," I'd be like, "Okay, he's infected with the stuff from beyond." But right now, he just saw it once and then left.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess that also kind of speaks, or like can kind of portray like something that's so overwhelmingly alien to you that it does that much on impact.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Also, the police officer that's here with her, or is he the DA? I can't remember. No, he says something about the DA. He's not the DA. He's a police officer. Yeah. Who says that, like, he's the one who gets to make the decision that you can let this guy go on this field trip?
Yeah,
How the hell does he have that?
Sometimes you gotta just move things along plot-wise, and it's a little obvious that that's what had to happen.
So, yeah, there were ways to write this story in which you didn't have to have these jumps. But I'm not saying that the movie, as far as bad plots in movies from the 80s go, this is fine. I'm just picking it apart because there's things I noticed as I was watching it, you know? You know how you know a woman is gorgeous? She's wearing those square glasses from the 80s that take up all of her face, and she is still just drop dead.
Stunning.
Just jaw-dropping. Those eyes.
She's so beautiful.
She's wearing those horrendously large pearl earrings, and you don't even notice them unless you're looking for them.
No, not even a little bit. Also, side note, I want the Miskatonic University shirt that he has on under his button down.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, you can get those anywhere. Miskatonic stuff is everywhere.
No, I know. I just, like, that design in particular, I thought, like, the ringer tee, I thought was cute.
Yeah.
I had something that I lost it. God damn it.
Sorry.
It's all good. Yeah, I'm so entertained. And like there are movies that are technically like better done that I don't find nearly as arresting.
Right. So all my gripes aside, I didn't ever look away from the screen for more than a little bit.
Mm.
There's modern movies, and it's probably just length also. They're so long. Where
This is
I'll look
pretty
down at my
snappy.
phone. Yeah. I'll look down at my phone and I'll be able to hear the dialogue, and I don't feel like I'm missing much. With
Mhm.
this, maybe I look down, but then, I'm looking right back up, even if it's just dialogue, because there's just
Mhm.
interesting stuff happening. It might not even be plot driving, but it's just interesting.
The B movie really was an art form, like
A
the B
well
horror
done B
specifically.
movie. Yeah. A well done B horror movie that knows what it is.
Hmm.
It's just, it's long
It's a
gone.
lost art. Benevolent Street, ironic.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I thought the Benevolent Street thing was funny too. Is she the wife of? Previously. Okay. Dr. Block was played by Carolyn Purdy Gordon.
Oh,
And yes, previously married to Stuart Gordon.
um, I will say, watching this movie when they go into they go back to the mansion, and within 2 seconds they lose him. You do not lose a person that quickly.
I mean, I do feel like there was you suspend your disbelief because
Mhm.
the cop makes a comment immediately where he's like, he knows the ground better than us.
Yeah,
So, did he just duck around a corner? And I mean, this type of house, there's servant stairways, there's
yeah. Actually, you
back.
make an excellent point.
So, not that that's what he was doing, but I think that the police officer, with the very well developed backstory for no reason,
Yeah.
it's fine, but like, what a weird thing to do. Like, he
Well, I
can't
mean,
just,
you can do it in literally a sentence, so
I guess, but like, it was unnecessary. I
it was
used to play
unnecessary.
football. Like, I don't
Whatever.
know. It's just, he can't just be a police officer.
666.
Yes, 666 Benevolent Street is where this big old house is. This house that I
And
want.
in Reanimator, the address is 666 Darkmoor.
I'm so shocked that so many of the addresses are 666. Actually, I am, because that's a tie into Christian mythology and not into, yes, I said mythology, um, and not
Had
into,
nothing to say against that, bud.
I just wanted to make sure it was noted. And, not into the lore of Lovecraft, because he doesn't focus on that number that I recall.
I think that makes it scarier to.
Broader audience. I get that.
Yeah.
No, I totally get that. Broader audience. Just like you say Miskatonic, and it's, unless you don't,
Mhm.
it doesn't mean anything. So
Yeah.
you do sort of have to put some more info out there. Um,
Yeah.
his hesitation to go back into the house, I don't know if you're at the exact same spot as me, but his hesitation when
Mm.
they get to the house, he does such a good job of playing
Mhm.
that. But then as soon as they step inside, he's like, cool, I'm good.
I feel like it's like as soon as you get close enough, you're under some sort of spell again. Like you're drawn
Oh,
into this thing.
you know what? That actually tracks. I might have missed that. Oh, Bubba, I didn't see that when I watched this. He brought weights. He's carrying a barbell into the house.
Hell yeah, brother.
Bubba. Also, Bubba. Come on.
Whatever,
From the
man.
80s, whatever. I'm going to move on. I love his jacket. We
That
can
is a
talk about Bubba.
fly ass jacket.
Yeah. And that is the only way to describe that jacket. It is a fly ass jacket.
Honestly, you're so right. I love in older movies how you can still see when it's dark.
Well, okay. What do you mean?
Like, you know how in movies now, like if it's a scene that's supposed to take place at night, you genuinely cannot see shit that's happening on screen?
Oh, it's just a bad movie. In modern movies, they still do the blue thing. You just use low light but blue lights, and that means
Oh
you
no,
find.
Also, I don't see why Pretorius being kind of kinky is that big of a deal.
It plays no part other than when well, okay, here's how it plays a part. So Pretorius is dead. He is 100% dead. However, it's
Hmm.
clear that the beyond being absorbs the people that it eats,
Yes.
and so they start to drive its psyche. So his drive for pain, pleasure, torture, very Hellraiser
Mm.
vibes, is
Yeah.
actually probably one of the reasons they survive,
Mm.
because it doesn't just kill them like it did with Pretorius. It
Yeah.
plays with them. If he hadn't been eaten, if it had eaten Crawford first, it might not have been
Yeah.
so playful,
Yeah. No,
for
you
lack
make
of
an
better.
excellent. No, you do make an excellent point. But like this, when they're up there looking around with the flashlight, and you can still see like well. I've seen so many like things that are supposed to be huge A-list budget productions that just can't light for shit.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of lost arts where people just are throwing money at um, what they think is the right answer, which is the biggest paid
And
actor.
it's never the right answer.
Not to dig on those actors, they may be excellent actors, but like that's not what's going to sell a movie. I have seen movies with people I've never heard of and loved them.
Yeah,
The dialogue was good, the lighting was good, the set dressing was amazing. Like this lab again with all the
it's
lights off.
fantastic.
They're doing the flashlight around. I think you're a little ahead of me because I'm now with. They
Mm.
just got upstairs and they're looking around with flashlight.
Pause for a
It's
second.
so convincing, I guess, is what I'm looking for. I don't know. Like
Hmm.
it feels real. It's so real. Um,
I
every
watched
piece of that
the
set.
I watched the commentary version of this pretty recently, and like this was all a set. Like it was a soundstage in Italy.
Nice. I'd fly to Italy to make this movie.
Oh fuck yeah!
Call me Stuart Gordon. We'll
Sad.
do exclusively Stuart Gordon movies from now on if he sponsors the show.
I'm pretty sure he's dead.
I don't care. His estate.
Oh fuck yeah!
Whatever
Anyway,
it takes. Fuck it. You bowl. Whatever it takes. He would actually. I think
um,
he would.
yeah, I love the resonator design.
Sponsor us and fly us to Italy. Yes, please. We can't get a sponsor to buy us gifts to give away for prizes at the contests we do. This is a labor of love. I hope everyone knows that. We spend so much more money making these shows than we do make money
And
back.
we do it for you.
I mean, we like to do it, so let's not kid ourselves.
And we loved yes, and we do love doing it.
What is this food?
You ever had chicken and dumplings?
That's not chicken. That's disgusting. No African American man has served that as chicken and dumplings. No one from the South has served that as chicken and dumplings. I thought that was cauliflower that's so white. That's supposed to be chicken and dumplings?
I guess it really wasn't. I mean, it's the only thing I can think of.
God.
God,
No, it makes sense, but like I'm looking at it and I'm like, that's just raw dough then, because it's just white.
the chemistry between these two is insane.
I feel like, yeah, you're still a little ahead of me when he's staring at her while she's sleeping, or
Yeah,
yeah. Well, he's being really awkward about it.
he's being very awkward about it, but like I
I take
especially
it
buy
back.
it for the character.
I take it back about the pineal gland. All of what you are saying all ties in. I think once that fish monster bit him, he already sort of is tied into it. He's not
Mm-hmm.
sucked in fully, but there is still a connection, and so that's why
Mm-hmm.
he's a little murdery. But his better nature.
Yeah,
God, I love the actor that plays Bubba. I don't know why. The character's pretty good in this movie.
honestly, I feel like everyone fits their role so well.
Yeah, yeah. Like if we were to do the recast thing, like to make the movie better,
I don't
I
want to
don't
touch
know.
anything.
Maybe the police officer, not Bubba, the other guy. The
Yeah.
detective guy that you barely see on screen ever? Him? I don't know. But like, why?
Yeah.
If you make him a more notable person, you're going to want to see him on screen more.
Mm.
So he's milk toast, and that's okay.
Yeah. I wouldn't touch anything.
From an actor perspective, there's not a way to make it better. To break it, literally, you even
Anybody
pick a good
else?
actor. Recast anyone, even a good actor. I don't think this movie works.
No, it wouldn't fit.
Because the energy, like the Jeffrey Combs energy, who is going to do that in
Nobody.
1986, mind you? Because remember, the rule is it's as they were then.
Mm.
Possibly in a modern person might be able to, because they've seen him and are emulating him.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. And I'm not actually at this point in the movie yet, but I love the interpretation of the Lovecraftian creatures as like this sort of fucked up space ocean.
oh yeah. Well, again, because Lovecraftian is very the deep abyss of the ocean and
Mm-hmm.
other realms, and then
Yeah.
when you add in the sci-fi aspect with the computers and everything, it brings in
Mm-hmm.
this like space other realms. Although there are like a space other realms thing to Lovecraftian stories anyway, but it's
Mm-hmm.
not space per se, so much as the nothingness, the void.
Yeah. And I love the sort of the conjuring of other worlds visually with the lights changing
I
into like colors that obviously wouldn't be in the room with them.
Right. I like that the way it shows what they're experiencing is that
Mm-hmm.
like purplish. I'm very, very aggressively colorblind, but it's like a
It's like
purplish
a
hue.
actually it's really funny that it's the bi flag colors.
I don't know what the colors of the bi flag are.
They're purple, pink, and blue.
Oh yeah. Okay, so yes, it's right in that wheelhouse. And it's that turns Barbara Crampton on, and that makes my day. But anyway,
People used to fuck in movies.
like she sells that she is turned on with
Oh, 100%.
with just heavy breathing. That
God, I
woman
love
missed
this
an
movie.
opportunity to be an A-list porn star. I shouldn't say missed an opportunity. She had the opportunity. She wisely chose to use her skill set as an artist of a different nature.
I I love her dedication to like weird horror flicks. It's fantastic. That's been like her entire career and it's delightful.
Yeah,
Cuz it's
I
just
do love an actor. Go
it
ahead.
shows so much of an appreciation for the genre and for like these truly handmade films.
That's what I was going to say. Is I do love an actor where you look at
Mm-hmm.
their
And
their
it's so clear
raw,
that they love it. They love what they're doing.
again, labor of love. Difference is they do make a living off of it.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I think that they have incredible talent that is
Mm-hmm.
like she does. Everything she's been in has been not necessarily a success, but it was never her fault. I've
Mm-hmm.
said that about other actors before. That I can't tell
Actually,
you every movie.
if you want to see Barbara Crampton fucking knock it out of the park in a film that's from the past like 5 years, go watch Jacob's Wife on Shudder.
Okay, I haven't seen that one. I don't have
Highly
Shutter up.
recommend.
Is Shutter one of the ones I have to pay for?
Unfortunately, yes.
We need to get a show Shutter. I'm just saying.
That is not a bad idea.
Yar. The
But yeah,
show
and then
Shutter.
Pretorius showing up.
Not Pretorius. No.
Not Pretorius. The
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 monster that
Beyond
is
appearing
absorbed,
as Pretorius.
which they make pretty clear early on, but it's easier just to refer to him as Pretorius. I understand.
Yeah.
But it is the it from before. It's just
Assumed this form.
and been very heavily persuaded by it because it's the first human it's consumed. So it is
Mm-hmm.
50% human and 50% that specific human.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes this movie possible. Like I said before, if it wasn't for his sexual proclivities, I don't think it would have toyed with them as much.
No, not at all. And also, there's something like this is something I remarked on in Reanimator as well, that Stuart Gordon movies, there's such a good balance of like incidental and like sexual nudity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like this is just what's happening, and like the quote, like, you know, because it's quote unquote inappropriate for the situation, like it just makes everything that much freakier.
This weird monster that's naked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is where like you get some amazing practical effects with his face shifting and like splitting open.
It's so over the top. It's so like I just love there's something about this
Actually,
impractical
so
of gore.
yeah, there's such a love of practical effects, but so Reanimator had trouble with the MPA because they had so much blood in the movie. So they thought they were going to be smart and work around it by having everything be slime instead of blood. But then the MPA watched it and was like, this is even grosser. You have
Hey,
even more of a
fuck the
problem now.
MPAA. They're a self-appointed organization. They're not a government watch body. Nobody is
Oh, yeah,
required to
no.
get them to rate anything. It's literally just
Sense
a bunch of
censoring ourselves
yes.
before the government could censor us back in
No, it's pearl clutchers that are saying we don't want our children to see these movies, and so we're going to go rate them. This was not like a preemptive to government censorship thing. This was literally pearl clutchers going, "Oh my stars!"
I love how you can see the injury starting to, like, the third eye injury starting to form on him after the second incident.
I didn't notice that the first time, and now I'm seeing there's just like a little bit of a red dot on his.
Mm-hmm. The attention to detail in this movie is fantastic.
Again, it's that love for
Mm-hmm.
the craft and for this specific film that makes it work.
Yep.
Because every time you watch this, you might see something like that you didn't see the last time. The whole breakfast scene where she's like so hungry and everybody else is just like not interested.
Yeah.
Interestingly, she's eating a full breakfast. Crawford is drinking a coffee, and Bubba, nothing. So there's like 3 different levels of tolerance to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's sort of a foreshadowing almost, because later on she dives right into this. She's like really into it,
Mm-hmm.
versus Crawford reluctantly gets sucked into it, versus Bubba never does.
Yeah, not really.
He's never interested. He's a hero the movie through.
Oh, 100%. I will say it's so interesting that Barbara Crampton is the one playing the kind of Herbert West character here.
Yeah. It's
like
true.
kind of
Yeah.
sort of stopping at nothing to their own detriment.
It's absolutely true that, yeah. I'm trying to reply to this. How do you reply?
I don't know.
I am sorry. It's really hard to do this.
You're fine. Don't even worry about
I'm
it.
trying to reply to Dr. Brooks because she has joined us.
Oh.
And I just wanted to, yeah. So, but it's on my phone. It's different on my phone. I'm so used to being the producer and like sitting at a keyboard, and I am at a keyboard, but like I'm not in that role right now. Yeah.
Anyway, I should pull up the Twitch chat though. That would be smart.
That's why I have Twitch running on my phone. It's not for the extra view.
Well, that'll help us out there too.
But no, so I think we've reached a point we should probably throw some ratings on this movie. I think I want to go first because I don't want to be tainted by your view, and I feel like you'll be honest about this. As a film that I would want to watch and rewatch,
Mhm.
Hard 7.5, I
Okay.
could be swayed higher. This is good. There's problems, but none of them really take away from it. And as for what no, I'll let you go on that first. Let's do that.
For
Hey, Sam.
rewatchability, this is an 8 out of 10 for me, man.
I said a hard 7.5 that I could be swayed higher, so I feel like that's fair. See, I just didn't want to be swayed higher. That's why I went first.
I could come back to this again and again, and I have.
I threw my phone.
Even after only seeing it for the first time literally this year.
Yeah, no, and this is the first time I've seen it right now. I may watch it again this year. Who knows? I don't know.
Oh, yeah. No,
Let's
it's
do a
just,
movie night.
it's so
Yeah.
great. Mommy?
I love when I know we're at the same seat. Oh, God.
Anyway.
So what we should do on December 21st is, after we're done wrapping up, is I'll go back to the studio and watch this absolutely demolished and just have a love fest for gore, horror, sci-fi. Just that our drunken disorderly can just be this again. And
please, God, I will do anything
I'm not the one
for that to be the case.
I'm not the one you have to convince. I'm always down to go, much to my own chagrin, often.
I will literally beg everybody else in the group chat, not remotely joking.
So as far as
we have her parallel with finish the ratings.
Go. Oh yeah, let's finish ratings. Yes. So as far as what this does for the genre of sci-fi specifically, tricked you. Actually, it's still pretty high because there's a lot of things in this that I've seen in modern film and TV shows.
I would say it is very unique, but it also, like, it's an adaptation, so it technically has that taking points away from it in this category.
But the adaptation it's from is not sci-fi. It's more horror fantasy. This pushed the sci-fi aspect of it, and therefore I give it a little bit more credence because it took someone else's inspiration and then made it sci-fi. So I'd still probably give this like a good 6.5 on inspiration, because I can think of at least 3 things that are directly because of this. There's a whole Stargate SG-1 episode where they can see things from other realms because they went to another planet and touched something that was vibrating on a certain frequency.
Yeah, I was going to give it a 6.
So yeah, so we're roughly the same there again. Just, oh yeah, you can see it kind of pushing out now. It's just slightly
when it turns on again.
Yeah.
Like, and also her parallel here with Pretorius, need to see more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
now
she was obviously closer to Pretorius. Yeah. And she wants to fuck in the bylight. Which, who doesn't?
Yeah, this is extremely that's distracting.
Watching this movie is distracting when trying to talk about this movie.
Because it's so fucking watchable.
Yes. Sam had said, I like the idea that the giant tuning forks on the resonator stimulate the pineal gland with vibrations. That's sort of the point I was making. Yeah, that one. With how impactful this was. There's literally other things that have kind of taken that exact idea.
Practical effects here.
I love that they try to pretend he's normal at first when he's turned sideways.
Yeah.
Pretorius in this scene. But like, it's so obvious, even though you're
getting a so obvious, but I appreciate them trying.
Also, the Two-Face kind of thing on that. Very fun for me. This scene, tiny bit awkward.
But
I think I really
Barbara using her Scream Queen cred.
Yep. But I really, 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 really appreciate the level they want to not bring SA into this.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't necessary. Like,
No, it wasn't.
technically this is that, but like, you know what I mean? Like,
It's not.
full on,
Yeah. No, I
you
know
don't have
exactly
to
what
see
you
that.
mean.
It wasn't necessary. The
No,
tension, the opening of that's all we needed. And it
no,
did the
it's
job.
fantastic.
Naked Bubba.
Also, is the implication or no? Nope, I just realized it's flipped around. I was like, oh, was he freaky because he was doing experiments involving the pineal gland? But no, it's because it ate him.
Yeah. That's what I was saying before, is this is not him. This is the monster that has absorbed him, and because it's absorbed him, it has his taste.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
that
All
is
right.
really interesting to me. I don't get the worm monster in the basement thing.
I don't either, but it's a cool, like, again, they were just trying to show off a cool practical effect, and I
Awesome
am
practical
perfectly
effect.
a fucking
Awesome.
yeah.
Great scene. Don't understand it. Don't know why
But
it's
I'll
needed.
fucking take it.
But I'm happy it's there. Yeah.
No, I'm
that
so
worm
happy it's there.
monster, that Sarlacc sandworm.
I was about to say it's
Whatever
giving
monster.
sandworm.
Yeah.
Oh, and the fucking like bug mandibles emerging from his head.
Well, this is when he just forgoes pretending to be Pretorius anymore.
Yeah, this is incredible.
But the interesting thing is, you wonder, if we feed it good people, will it be good? Like, if we throw a bunch of very good people, a bunch of, I'm trying to think of good people. Tom Hanks.
Philanthropists.
Yeah. Just the best people. Mackenzie Scott's, and just see what happens. Oh, that bug thing. Why is the bug sucking on her face?
I think it's trying to eat her brain.
Oh, and they just stop it in time. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Bubba, the fucking hero of this movie.
Oh, 100%.
He never stops. And this is so fucked up. He's just a cop.
Yeah. This is
so
like
weird
beyond anything. In my personal opinion, I think the writer should have let Crawford get some before he became an egg, but that's just me.
I did think that was going to happen the first time I watched this. I also thought she was going to take advantage of him asleep in that one scene later. When she gets all dommed up.
Yeah.
When she gets dommed up.
Listen.
Listen. We needed to be right back for a second. Are you going to be okay?
Probably.
I do appreciate that. Okay, so now that she has personally been affected, she starts ripping all the things out of the resonator. Like, doesn't make her seem like a good person, but
not necessarily.
She's clearly aware that she is suffering from her connection.
Yeah, that she's gone a bit far. Twink.
Oh, here's Bubba in his NFL jersey from when he played in the NFL.
Slay King.
Like, again,
yeah, he's the only one that really retains any sense.
This is the point I make about the whole backstory for him. I know it's one sentence, and I know it's stupid that I care about it so much. But here he is wearing a jersey to really drive that thing home, right? Why? He's just a good guy with a good sense of responsibility and duty and obligation, trying to save these people.
Yeah.
Why do we need to give him some other back? He's just a good cop. That's already fantastical. You don't need another.
Yeah, honestly.
You know?
And then it's funny because I have no notes during this scene.
Yeah, you didn't have any free hands. I get it.
Oh boy.
Too much.
little too much, bud. Not like I'm not saying about embarrassment. I'm saying like don't get in trouble.
The only person I'd get in trouble with is you.
Oh. Whatever, bro. When I was watching the commentary version, apparently Stuart Gordon was the one who went shopping with her to get this stuff, and it was custom.
I feel like Stuart Gordon definitely took her to buy this stuff. Yeah.
Her eyes are
and
so
that's
blue.
why it's ex-wife Carolyn Hardy Gordon. Yeah, her eyes are shockingly blue. They're frosty blue. She is everything that the 40s dreamed of.
Yeah. Yep.
And if there's not a movie in which she plays some sort of SS dominatrix, that's a missed opportunity.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there. Yeah. There she goes.
Christ almighty.
Sorry. I'm looking at this monitor for a second.
Yeah, no.
So that I can focus on the show.
Put the blinders up. But then we get to the resonator running itself again, which, like, and out of, like, it wasn't even turned on this time. It turns itself on.
They disconnected the power, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
From the basement, and literally she had pulled all the plugs from it itself, right?
Yep, and then
But remember, the resonator exists in both realms. So whatever fourth dimension, fifth dimension, whatever they exist in, it exists there. They just can't see it, but he knows it's there. And it has Praetorius's knowledge. So from their side, he's doing whatever it would take metaphysically
to get back through.
To get that to go, because he knows that's what it takes now. See, he didn't know how to get to our world.
Mm-hmm.
Now he knows that's how to get to our world. So that's what makes me wonder, at the end of this movie, did that solve anything?
It's a very good question.
Does the Praetorius monster die? And if it does, is that knowledge gone? Or are there other beings that are also intelligent and not just weird little fish monsters?
Who's to say? Yeah. Okay.
God, I looked at the other screen.
Yeah, it's wow. Again, people used to fuck in movies.
I mean, I would pay to see it. Nope. No.
What is with you tonight?
I don't know, man. It's Barbara Crampton. You're questioning me? You come to my house. You brought this to me.
You're completely correct. But
it's just been a few comments. Yeah. I'll try to tone it down. It's this particular. Yes, I have been locked.
No, but I got it. But like genuinely, I know that like there are like people on the internet. Like I see this in fandom space a lot. Like there are 17-year-olds on the internet who would be clutching their pearls over this.
Fewer and far between, but yes, they exist. And that's fine, by the way, for people to be like, this is too much. You know, as long as you're not trying to say nobody should see it and you're just saying, I don't understand.
But that's the thing. It's the nobody should see it. It's the this shouldn't exist subset.
This movie doesn't quite reach that level for me. And to me, even
God, not at all.
There are movies where people say that movie couldn't get made today, and I say, yeah, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm gonna really stir the pot here. People say things like, "You couldn't make Blazing Saddles today." Yeah, what's your point? I love Blazing Saddles, and I'm glad it happened. But I also understand why, if you tried to make that today, it's too much. It's you push too hard. And it, maybe it never should have been made, but it did. And I'm happy it was. And that's fine. And we were talking about this during a Big Dumb Monsters episode. We know what our generation's Blazing Saddles is. It's Tropic Thunder. That movie did too much. It pushed too hard. If you made that today, mm-mm.
Not just making this comment because I think that she's extremely attractive, but also just like genuinely realistic bodies in movies
Oh yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
still look amazing.
There's nothing fake about her. She's not
No,
technically perfect in any way, shape, or form. Um, and they don't try to make her perfect.
no, they don't try to make her like it's fantastic, and like
Bubba, the
it's
fucking
all
hero.
that much more attractive.
The fact that she's real, yes,
Yeah,
real is attractive. Bubba the hero
precisely.
turns down this intimate romp with Dommy Mommy Barbara
Yeah,
Crawford
the
because
hero.
he's a real like hero.
Also, I love the sort of cartoony lightning.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. As far as effects go, even if you made the movie today, that's fine to me because it's just get it across.
Like, yeah, I would want that. It fits the vibe.
The vibe of this movie needs that. If it was too realistic or
Yeah.
I don't know, like I just don't think it would work.
No,
Bubba
it
the
wouldn't.
hero up here trying to
Bubba
stare
the
out.
fucking hero.
I didn't even think about this when I was watching the movie, but Bubba is everything about this movie. He is what
Hmm.
humanity should strive to be. He has never once swayed.
These bug things were little styrofoam balls that they painted gray, and then they blew them around with a fan and shot it backwards.
I didn't know that. That's really cool.
Yeah, this.
I
Back when
don't like the
people
way that he
fucking
dies.
cared. No, I don't like the way that he dies either. It's very
It's
sad.
silly. It's sad, but it's also just silly.
Yeah.
He throws the flashlight after realizing that they're attracted to the light,
Mm.
but then the light happens to land facing his face,
It's yeah. It's but
and he doesn't
also
move.
here's the
Also,
like.
there's a little regrettable reviews sign here.
Hey, my thing is kind of like if this is all being caused by whatever absorbed Pretorius, was that not going to happen regardless? Is that not another part of the toying with him? Like, oh, you got away, psych. You think you figured it out?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. All of this is definitely influenced by the Pretorius playfulness, if you will.
Yeah.
And so again, just commenting on things that are wrong about this that I don't mind. The color of the blood in the scenes where it's supposed to be blood doesn't bother me. That it's like very fake
It's
and
very bright.
orangey. I
It's
think
very bright.
it's
Although the lighting sometimes like makes it look extra weird.
well, that's true too. We do have a lot of the pink and purple lights, so that might affect how it's perceived.
Yeah, the gore in this movie really is pretty fucking good.
Oh, Bubba, you didn't deserve that death.
He did not deserve
You
that
deserve to
even a
die at
little
all.
bit.
But like, if you deserved even a hero's death, it should have been a cleaner hero's death. You
I
know,
love
here.
the old school stop motion of this fucking puppet.
Oh yes, this is amazing.
This is so great.
Here's what I want to change about this movie if I ever could go back in time and change it. Bubba's death. I want to rewrite it. Bubba left earlier because they wouldn't go. And then he can't handle it and comes back at the scene later where the bombs are planted by the doctor. And everything's
Catherine.
timed and everything. And
Yeah.
he dies saving them. He pushes them out the window and tackles the monster so it dies in the explosion.
Ooh,
That's the death I want for Bubba. Pushing them out the window so they both.
If he has to die, earn it.
So, I mean, it's not bad what they did, but it just didn't feel like enough. He didn't get to fight his attacker.
Yeah, which sucks. Also, like the fucking pineal gland is like sensory organ now.
Oh yes, the eye penis.
Yeah.
Thing. Okay, so here's another gripe I'll have. Again, doesn't take away from the movie, but I just don't really love it. is that the
Mm.
way he eats their brains later is by sucking on their eye, but he's got the eye probe
Yeah.
thing. Why not just like eye probe into their eye? I don't know.
I
I
don't
guess
know.
it's not a probe in
Because it's
that way.
gross and they wanted to put something gross on screen. I will say the sort of color inversion filter type shit they do, it's a valiant attempt to show a character suddenly being able to perceive the imperceptible.
Yeah. Yep. It's the best I could think of.
Yeah, like
So
I can't think of anything better, you know?
predator heat vision kind of stuff, that's it's the same concept. Like, how can we see beyond what we can see?
Mm.
But they didn't just go with heat vision. They did more to it, like here's this
Yeah.
weird outlining and really elevates it, in my opinion. And I agree.
Yeah. Later in the movie, when they're doing the whole like, the horror of shock treatment thing, I will say ECT is legit. It just took us forever to fucking figure out how to do it.
Well, yeah. Oh, this movie.
This
So
movie's so great.
first time I've seen it, and it's solid. I will watch it again for sure.
Yeah, I'm of the opinion that Jeffrey Combs is a legitimately amazing actor.
Again, hot take for me, because of the way I've experienced him, he's the weakest part of this for me.
He's my favorite part of this movie.
I really like the Bubba and the monster. I'm here for
fucking
Bubba
love
and the
this
monster.
guy. Although, yeah, I think like the method of brain extraction being as horrible as it is just adds to the ick factor that this movie does have.
Mm. Also, they're back at the psych hospital when he clearly needs brain surgery. And call me crazy, but even in 1986, I'm pretty sure this is not where this would happen.
Probably not.
Also,
but whatever.
I'm pretty sure, no matter what year it was, this would happen in a secret government laboratory, because this is weird. And
most
all
likely,
this guy existing would be gone. He was never proper who.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Telling what?
You're probably right.
Bubba wouldn't even exist.
No. I gotta say the head twisting off effect later is pretty fucking nasty and well done.
So I can't remember both the first time and this time. Do we see it twist off Pretorius's head?
Pretorius, no. Crawford, yes.
Right. So we see the after effect where it's got his head is gone and there's this weird like ice cream cone thing on his neck.
Yeah.
And I always thought that was weird as I was watching it. I kept going back like, that's so weird. What a weird effect. Mm-hmm. But then later when we see that that's how it takes off Crawford's head, I was like, oh, did I just miss that? And then we watched it again. I also thought maybe I just missed it.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it just doesn't happen. So that's okay. That's good though, because it makes you wonder, like, what happened? How did his head disappear? And there's this weird shit, and then they show you later because it twists it off.
Mm-hmm. That's podcasting.
That is podcasting.
And the nasty ass compound fracture she has at the end.
Woo!
Owie.
Seeing straight femur. Also,
she has such a great, like, I've lost my mind laugh at the end of this.
Mm-hmm.
And also the mirroring of the it ate him. Like, Crawford saying that it bit off his head, or like that something came out of the air and ate him.
Yeah. Yep.
Good narrative book ending there.
See, it's part of the ring theory of storytelling, very similar to Star Wars.
I would end this podcast.
What, if it was ring theory, or if I somehow tied Star Wars into it?
If you were one of those people who's like, Star Wars is the, ultimate thing in narrative perfection.
Oh, no, by far it's not. It's wonderful stuff. It's very entertaining stuff.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
No, but that's one of the things that those people would say is that the whole ring theory of storytelling, like you have the rings,
Mhm.
and the story does kind of fit that. But I was just making fun of,
Yeah.
everything is symmetrical in that way.
But yeah, no, the brain eating in this is gross. Love it.
You can only cast Eldritch Dong once you reach 5th level wizard. Well, that's okay. Warlocks get that at 1st level, depending on who their pact is with. If it's with Praetorius, oh my God, a D&D campaign with a warlock whose pact demon is Praetorius.
Ooh.
Have I come on to something here? Fam, I think this is a thing. I'm going to have to write a whole bunch of new spells. Oh my God, everything's going to be racist. Because it's Lovecraft.
Yeah.
I wonder what
Anyway.
effects they used for the vision here.
Yeah, I am kind of curious.
It's so funny because prior to watching this movie and prior to doing this podcast, I had seen a random reel by the Action Lab, which is a science-based creator, and he had talked about how we would perceive a 4th dimension object passing through the 3rd dimension.
Mm-hmm.
And so this just made me think of that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, I will say the brain eating is even nastier in the director's cut. Like, there's just more of it.
I don't think you need more of it. So I'm going to disagree with
I
the
don't know.
director.
It kind of works. I don't know. I think it kind of works. They had to, like,
you know what?
They had to cut it.
December 21st.
Fuck yes.
We're just signing people up to watch this absolute gore fest after getting hammered all night. Which Dr. Brooks is coming to. We've established.
Oh, 100%. She doesn't
really
have a choice,
option.
but also
It's been said.
Yeah.
It's now been
But
said
she is.
on the air.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Yeah, God, this movie just goes so fucking hard. 80s horror, like this genre of 80s horror hits like nothing else.
It truly does. I mean, it's your Evil Deads, your Reanimators, your From Beyond, your even some of the slasher movies,
There is nothing else like it. Brooke says she's making a face at me.
Hopefully it's at you. 25% less try makes 2% more trading. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is not what we wanted. Yeah.
It's like, it's as it's as close to perfect as it's going to get.
Right. Yes.
We're both in trouble.
Womp womp. What's she going to do to me? But yeah. Could this movie have ever possibly been made a 10 out? Is there anything that you could foresee that could even make this a 10 out of 10? No. Right? It's a little too silly.
Yeah.
But
I don't want it more serious.
Right. If you made
like,
it
I want it to be this slightly unpolished, 8 out of 10 instead of a 10. Like, I love it as it is. I love it in its imperfections.
You could not make a straight horror and still even get that 8, I don't think.
No, not at all.
And if you tried to put in more lighthearted charm or comedy or something, this doesn't have any comedy. If they had tried to put any comedy in this, hard drop immediately.
Yeah, no, massive.
They would have to have swayed very heavily to the comedy to maybe have gained some of those points back. It still would have been less, I think, though.
Absolutely.
There's nothing that could have made this better. This is This is 10 out of 10 for what this story could have been.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good way of putting it. Yeah, I cannot recommend this enough. Like, the only, movie that's like this that I love more is Reanimator.
I'm making a punch card for Dr. Brooks.
A punch card of what?
Every time she
trips to Albany.
Yeah.
Oh, I just saw that. Then eventually I get a
I'm
prize.
your Huckleberry.
The prize is a trip to Albany.
Oh, dick move.
Anyway. I don't know if I have anything. I don't have anything else to say about this that I haven't already said because I just have such insanely positive feelings toward this movie.
Yeah, so like the weakest scenes are still fine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the ambulance scene is whatever, which is where we're at right now.
Yeah.
There's a couple other scenes that are whatever, but they're not bad, and they don't hurt the story.
Nothing takes away from it.
Yeah, they don't hurt the story. They just don't really help it at all. They're not needed.
I suppose so. But yeah, just God. If you haven't seen this, fucking watch it. And if you're part of the network, you don't have a choice.
Yeah, true.
So what's up, buddy?
Oh God. Had a very rough Friday. Actually, work has been insane. Normally at the end of the year, we have a very slow end of year, but things are very different this year because of reorganization going on. So it's basically just me manning what would be a 3-person team, and so light work becomes a lot of work.
I pretend I do not see it.
Friday I was deathly ill. Recovered, and then we went to see Werewolves, which made me feel like I was
once again deathly ill.
And then come this morning, I was ill, not deathly ill, but in a different way. So lots of just random illnesses. So hopefully
you
that's
do hate
it.
To see it.
Fingers
crossed.
Only other new thing going on is I am now officially a firefighter and paramedic. Yay.
Good job.
So, on top of full-time work, podcasting in a variety of roles, live appearances, I now am also saving lives. Woo! Got to feel important somehow. I don't know.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Got to do what you got to do.
As is evidenced by the fact that I'm here doing this podcast remote, my computer is finally fucking working.
I would like to point out,
and thank you for so much help with that, brother,
that I did nothing wrong.
No, you didn't.
Decided to shit the bed in too many ways to count.
Yeah, I got nothing for you. That's exactly what happened. It was fucking ridiculous, and I'm going to complain about it more on the finally returning Fighting with Friends podcast tomorrow night. So I'm going to complain more about my computer. Tune in to hear that.
Nice. Oh, I do have one other new thing. But I'll let you finish them. Do you want me to go finish that?
That's about it, really.
Okay. I started Chainsaw Man because of you and Dr. Brooks. And
nice.
So I am so deeply in. It's so fun. And
it's
I'm
good
very
shit,
selective
isn't it?
about my anime. I'm very selective about my anime. Like, painfully selective. And this is so good. I dig it so much.
It is such a great time.
I love seeing the characters develop. I love the dynamics between them. Power is a very interesting character.
I love Power.
Denji has the most believable and relatable goal of any character that's ever existed in film, cinema, or book ever, and it's to touch boobies.
Relatable.
He's a 16-year-old boy, and he wants to touch boobies, and he does not pretend it's about anything else.
Yep.
And still,
he loved to see
that goal, when a drunk woman comes onto him, he says, "No, this wouldn't be right."
I love Denji. Oh, her fucking biting off the pineal gland is ugh.
Okay, Lorena Bobbitt, I see what you got going on. Oh, that's before your time. Do you know who Lorena Bobbitt is? Okay. All right. So back in the 90s, we had a lot of very fun, famous worldwide cases. This one was a woman who accused her spouse of marital abuse, including SA. And one day after such a thing
Wait, I
happened,
think I do know about this. I think they covered this on last podcast on the left.
she grabbed a kitchen knife and removed his member, drove away, and threw it on the side of the road.
Yep.
He
Last
has since
podcast
had
we
it
covered this.
reattached and became a porn star. They've reconciled a little bit. Yeah, so Lorena Bobbitt, that's just the joke, because she bit off his face stick.
Yeah. Anyway.
I digress. I guess that's all we got. Next things up are tomorrow. We got some Fighting with Friends where you guys will try to play catch up. And you will have literal
that's going to be
correct? Or no?
We're going to have some extra streams.
Right.
Because I want to catch up on talking about the final season of What We Do in the Shadows. I'm going to talk to Brooks about dates.
Literally stopped watching the show while I'm waiting for you guys to go. So I'm like episodes behind.
So are we. But yeah, I think that's really it. Defenestration hour this week or no?
They are doing an extra episode this week, I believe, because they were supposed to do last week. And
there's that head twist.
Yes. So they will be doing Defend on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
We have nothing going on this weekend, and we'll return with Big Dumb Monsters on Monday. Right? Oh,
yes.
My God. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. He's over here.
But always good to have a reminder.
December 21st, which is a Saturday, we will be doing a ugly Christmas sweater and Christmas karaoke contest at the Bull and Bee Meadery in Albany, much like our Halloween episode or event, except this one will be 6 to 9, right? Yeah, 6 to 9. There will be prizes, and there will be, just share it again, you ass. Thor Effect will be there as well, which is amazing.
Hell yeah.
We love to see it. He can have his own little, he does his gaming usually, where he makes people sad because they think they're good at gaming. They're not.
And there will most certainly
No! Come back,
be an
Bridget!
Episode of Drunk and Disorderly. What?
You froze on me.
You froze for a second. What?
You froze.
You froze.
We were talking about Thor Effect. Rope me in case I'm the only one that missed it. Ref says Bridget froze.
God damn it.
So what were you saying?
What was I saying? That's a really good question.
Thor. Then we were talking about, because we were talking about the things that were happening on December 21st.
Oh, yes. There will be an episode of Drunk and Disorderly after the event.
This is news to my ears. I've never heard such a thing. I would never have predicted that we would do such a thing. I am aghast that you would expect such a thing. I will be speaking with my lawyers.
Good bit.
Waiting
Thanks,
for my
bud.
wife to tune out so that I can say that was for her benefit. I'll be there.
We will all be there.
I mean, it's the price we pay for glory.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's all we've got going on. We hope to see you. Thor says we might all need lawyers after a Drunk and Disorderly episode. You're not wrong, and it's definitely a thing. So yeah, that was Regrettable Reviews. Our take
that was
on
From Beyond, baby.
I'm so excited about this. This was a really fun episode, and a really great movie. I love this pick. This was good.
Had an
almost forgiven
wonderful time. I only have to find one more movie like this, and my sins will be absolved.
It's true.
Well, that's
And
heartening.
don't let Chris think that he's off.
Oh my God,
I
wait.
know he's the one that recommended it.
I didn't even notice when he came in here.
Who?
My cat. I just saw him
Oliver.
move. Yeah.
Hi, sweet boy.
How long have you been there, buddy?
I didn't notice him either.
I didn't
He came
notice
from
him
the
come
fourth
in.
dimension. Who knows? I don't know.
He came from beyond.
Yeah.
But with that, I think we should leave everybody with our words of wisdom. Don't shake alien eggs.
And never trust an android. The android.